I felt like I was asleep forever, and I woke up and it was still the same episode. So good. I don't know. I might keep watching that. I'm not sure. And finally, I'd like to talk about the show that everyone keeps saying is the greatest show in the history of shows. And it's so annoying that they say that, because I can only assume they watch a bunch of really crappy TV, and this just seemed way better than that. Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Oh, Ted Lasso.
Yeah, Ted Lasso. You can't stop. Every adult, like past the age of 50, I swear to God, has to tell you how great Ted Lasso is. I think
it's good, but it's not great. I enjoyed watching the first season, and I wasn't that excited for the second. And I'll get around to it at some point, but
right.
It's fine.
So I watched the whole second season of Ted Lasso in like 2 sittings, which is nothing in normal time and binge watching. So I don't know. I can only assume that the people that are watching this show are basing it off the fact that they also watch Dancing with the Stars and The Bachelor.
Exactly. I have a friend that was telling me just yesterday, he said, have you watched Ted Lasso? That show's amazing. I'm like, what? But by the way, I know that one of his favorite shows is Big Bang Theory. So I think
I was going to say, it's another one of those where you're like, your parents love Big Bang Theory for some reason. They also love Ted Lasso.
Yeah. And I think they're being cool because they're watching a show that doesn't have a laugh track, and it's on a streaming service.
And the other part of it for me is I don't want to crap on their happiness, because maybe, they're just going through a lot because, the pandemic, they've been inside. And so one little gleam of a show that they liked that made them feel good a little bit, made them feel something. So I don't want to put it down too much. But calm down with the overpraising of this show. It's just okay.
Right.
So
yeah, I agree.
And I also feel like it does the thing that a lot of shows do with the filler episodes, because streaming services, they order, and TV shows do this too, but streaming services are known for it, where they order a certain amount of shows, and the director and the people in charge have to create that amount of episodes per their contract.
And a lot of it has to do with budgetary reasons. So they might blow their budget on one story. So they're like, oh, crap. So we can only film this episode in one spot.
For instance, in Breaking Bad.
The Fly, right?
Yeah, the Fly episode was a whole budgetary one. They had to fulfill an episode, but they were out of budget. So they just came up with the Fly episode. And also, like, sitcoms will do this traditionally, too, with the trip down memory lane. Remember that time when Ross was an aardvark and he thought that was hilarious, wasn't it? And then they flashed to the clip.
Right.
So, I mean, that's essentially a filler episode. Well, I believe for Ted Lasso, the episode was the one right before the end with Coach Beard, where Coach Beard leaves after the team loses a match, and he goes off and does his own thing. He gets drunk and lost in the city. They're in London or whatever. And it's a whole night of him figuring out his life. It's pretty pointless. It has nothing to do with like the main focus of the plot or whatever. And I felt like it was such a stretch to fill something right before the finale. Like, you thought you were going to get the finale this week, but instead, here's a filler episode about Coach Beard and how, oh, look, he ripped his pants when he was out and had to wear some glitter shorts. Ha, isn't that funny? He came to work the next day wearing them and he was hungover. Oh, man. That was great. That was, they just go nowhere and nothing happens.
Yeah. And that's kind of how you can spot it. It doesn't advance the storyline. It doesn't give it's just, and at the end of it, you're just like, what?
And I don't know if this is a spoiler alert. I don't think it is. But Ted Lasso season 2 ends with literally rickrolling you. And I won't describe everything about that. But if that last episode is something that people think is the greatest show on television, and they think that a rickroll joke is still hilarious, are you even on the internet at all, ever? Because that was...
It's just the most basic show ever. It's just, and how the hell did it get nominated for the most Emmys out of any show as well? I don't understand that.
Because it's like
everyone's
Ted
lost
Lasso
their minds.
It's a good show, But people can't stop telling you that it's the best they've ever seen. It's not even the best show that's on TV right now.
And I have nothing. I really like Jason Sudeikis and everything. And I think it's just a fine show. And I agree with you. I think people are just overhyping it. It's not like I even hate the show. I'll watch it. I'm just over the hype.
When I turned on Ted Lasso, 2 episodes in, I was like,
now, internally, asking myself in quite a worried way whether I might have made an error.